What's going on, guys? Today we are talking about starting your very own fitness journey, okay? And it's actually really easy. I'm going to cover a lot of the basic questions that you get and what you actually need to do. But real quick, I do have some accolades. I am relatively competent to speak about this. I have competed as a natural amateur bodybuilder in the NGA. I do have my amateur bodybuilding card. And I am not some IFBB pro bodybuilder or anything like that. I live a very healthy lifestyle. It's centered around health and fitness and being happy and healthy. I've seen a lot of the things in the fitness industry, and I am here, to guide you through what you need to know and how to navigate the system, because there's a ton of fluff out there, right? It made me think of one more thing. And a lot of people want to know about supplements. What supplements do I need to take? What do I need to do to lose weight? And I'm gonna navigate you through the whole thing. You found the page, congratulations. You just gotta stick through the video, bro. All right, so we're gonna start with this one, right? Food. What kind of food do you need? Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, unless you are in the obese category, you need to be taking in right about your body weight in grams of protein per day, right? So let's say I weigh 150 pounds and I am not obese, but let's say I am, I'm a little bit overweight. I have a little bit of a tummy to me. So I want to take in about 150 grams of protein per day then, right? 150 grams of protein. So if I'm taking 150 grams of protein, you can essentially fill in your fats and your carbohydrates pretty much however you want to. I will say a couple of quick things about the food and the diet. It's not as complicated as everyone makes it out to be. You don't have to do a ketogenic diet. You don't have to do an Atkins diet. Don't worry about all that stuff. The best diet for you is the diet that you can best adhere to and the one that you can most consistently perform. Mediterranean diet, keto diet, like I said, it does not matter. I know it's a crazy thought, but I promise you it works, and I'm going to explain how later. But as a baseline, you got to have 150 grams of protein in the system, okay? And number two, for fats, your fats are the base for your endocrinology, and what that is a fancy term for your hormones, okay? So we need about 150 grams of protein. And I'm going to say we need at least 50 grams of fat. Right, so 50 grams of fat. All right, so we have this 50 grams of fat. This is like the absolute baseline to keep your endocrine system functioning. Typically, ideally, it's a little bit more, but I know a lot of people really like their carbohydrates, so you put those in however you want. I'm trying to give you a point to actually start. This is not going to make you a pro bodybuilder. This is going to give you a point to start and eventually learn how to be happy and healthy, because it's a lifestyle change and you need to ease into it. Okay? Next thing, people are going to talk a lot about cardio. You got to run every day. You got to do this. Easy there, Chief. You don't have to do that yet. I mean, you can, but you don't have to. And honestly, I would prefer that you don't run it first. You heard it right. I would prefer that you don't run it first and perform a ton of cardiovascular activity. You can ideally do, somewhere around 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day. It is healthy. That is very healthy. But it's great for your cardiovascular system. But what I will say is if you do an hour of running every single day, you are going to be taxing your system, and you're actually going to be burning off a lot of muscle, right? So I would say cardio is actually a no right now. The best thing that you can actually do, or one of the best things, is go to the gym and lift weights. Now, I know what you're thinking, Ryan, if I go to the gym and I lift weights, I'm going to look like one of those bodybuilders out there. Hey, pal, you see me? I've been lifting for the better part of 8 years now. Obviously, I've manipulated a lot of that through the diet, and I would be much bigger right now if I had just consistently bulked the whole time. But I have been lifting weights for the better part of 8 years, and I am not overly large, okay? There's a lot of different ways to lift weights, And the other thing that a lot of people say is, well, Ryan, if I go in the gym, I don't know how to lift these weights. And fear not, I will have future videos on this. And you can also look up many tutorials online. And I will say, without a shadow of a doubt, absolutely everybody that you see that is in that gym that looks X, Y, and Z way, they are not judging you. They were in your shoes at one point too. They are not going to judge you. I know you're thinking they are, and I know you're self-conscious. I know it's tough to get in there, but you've got to just start. Just going even 3 times for 45 minutes a session, 3 times a week for 45 minutes a session is really going to help you, because that will actually ramp up this metabolism we're about to talk about, and that will really help you accelerate your fitness journey. It is not like you have to do it. It is not imperative to the journey, but it greatly, greatly helps it. Okay, so I would say gym, I would say yes. Okay, so the gym is a yes. The time, roughly how long does this take? And honestly, I hate to tell you, it's not sexy. It depends on you, right? So if you're, and it depends on your goal too, right? So if I am 500 pounds and I am trying to get down to a healthy weight of ideally, let's say 160 pounds, it's going to take a couple of years actually probably to get there. But you've got to just start the journey, because the way that you eat an elephant is 1 bite at a time, okay? The way that you clean 1,000 dishes, you clean 1 dish at a time. That's about it. So the time really depends on you. I would say for most people, to get to where they are noticing results, and you're noticing and you see what's happening, it's only going to be a couple of months. I'm going to guess, just to throw an arbitrary number at it, not to get to exactly where you want to be, but to get close to it, we'll say 3 to 6 months. Okay? So 3 to 6 months, and that's really going to show you, hey, wow, I'm making progress. This is great. Okay? Next thing. I love talking about this. The supplements. Man, there's about 100,000 different types of Chinese tea that have been, miraculously found, and they're going to help you lose 10 pounds a week and whatever else. It's baloney. It's baloney, man. You heard it first. It's baloney. I know that a lot of companies, literally their backbone exists on that, and they're going to tell you need $200 in vitamins every month. No, you don't. It will help you, and it is one of those things that will help you later on in your journey. Maybe some vitamin D, maybe some creatine later on, and things like that. But really, just to start, what I'm trying to do is I'm going to give you a blueprint that actually gets you started and gets you consistent in going to the gym, and that is the key: consistency and eating healthy. Okay, so we're about to talk about eating healthy, which is one of the most important things. So supplements is a big fat no. Okay, you know how much you need to spend in supplements each week? Big old goose egg. Okay, so the most important part of this fitness journey is your BMR. The BMR is your base metabolic rate. So this is what, God forbid, I get in a car crash as I go to the store later, and they're feeding me through a tube. My base metabolic rate is that exact amount of calories. So I'm gonna put myself out there a little bit for you guys. I'm Ryan. I'm at 5 feet 9 inches. I'm at 167 pounds, and I'm 25 years of age. My BMR, my base metabolic rate, is 1,734 calories. Okay. So that's not actually your calories. Okay. What that means is that's what they're going to feed you through a tube if you're not doing anything all day. Depending on how much exercise you do is really going to be dependent on the amount of calories you take in. The best way to do this, and BMR calculators that you can put all this information in online, and it will give you this number, right? It will tell you right here, roughly, if you're a sedentary lifestyle, you need X amount of calories. It's just a little bit more, and honestly, the more you exercise per day is kind of the more calories you need, right? So I burn roughly 2,500 calories a day for the amount of work that I do and the lifestyle that I live, and that leaves me pretty easy, right, holding at maybe gaining a little bit more than 167 pounds, and I stay right there, okay? So, and that's pretty easy. It's not that hard for me, okay? So, what you need to do is as follows. So a lot of people that are starting their fitness journey want to do one of two things. They either want to bulk up or they want to cut down and lose weight. Okay, so if you're looking to bulk up and you're looking to gain weight, the best thing that you can do, number one, is get your protein in. And number two, take this number right here and eat at roughly 200 calories above this number, right? So if I'm at 167 pounds and it says, hey, for your lifestyle, you need roughly 2,500 calories. If I'm trying to bulk up and I'm trying to gain weight, I need to be eating consistently at 2,700 calories per day. If I'm trying to lose weight, it's the same way, just the opposite direction. Or 2,300 calories is what you would be doing. Now, if you're trying to gain weight, you want to hold right about that number. Maybe bring it up a little bit more as you gain weight and you kind of plateau out. You want to increase those calories a little bit more. But as you're losing weight, you want to be at the very least, you want to be in a 100 calorie deficit and absolutely no more than 500 calorie deficit. If you're at more than 500 calorie deficit, most of the literature is going to say, hey, your body triggers into what's called survival mode, and you hold weight, you hold water retention, you hold the fat a lot, and you burn a lot of muscle, which is not what you want. Okay. Another thing that I really failed to mention with the gym is there's a lot of fear with it and everything, but I don't want you guys to be concerned about. And I know I mentioned this, but I don't want you to be concerned about gaining too much muscle too quickly. Again, I've been working out for 8 years. You don't need to worry too much, okay? It all depends on if you can start taking exogenous hormones and things like that to really, really ramp it up, but I would not suggest that. And it's a video for a much later topic, okay? So, right now, what we need to talk about is losing weight. If you're trying to lose weight, 200 calories in the hole, okay? Doing the same thing, and you want to track that progression, and slowly over time, let's say I'm at 2,300 calories and I stay at about 100. Let's say I'm 160 pounds and I stay there for a couple of weeks, right? Well, okay. Now I want to go down a little bit more, and it's okay to go down a little bit more. But a couple of things to keep in mind here. I don't want you going down too far, as in dieting down to 1,200 calories. Okay, that is not going to be good. It's not going to be sufficient for you. But it's more so you're going to be tired and you're not going to want to stick with the diet. So just keep in a small calorie deficit, and slowly you will lose this weight. Eventually you will make it there. Okay, keep in mind when you're losing those calories, real quick, keep your protein at 1 gram per pound of body weight. Okay. Keep your fats at least 50, preferably 100 grams of fats or even close to there. And I would recommend that you take out the calories that you need to take out from carbohydrates. I know it's not fun, and I know carbs are the essence of life, but you gotta stay with it, guys. Stay with it and stay consistent. Again, the best diet is the one that you can most adhere to, okay? So, you're slowly tracking that progression downward, and you will get better. You don't have to go to the gym, but it will help you go to the gym, and here's why. When you go to the gym and you're in a calorie deficit, especially when you start, you are gaining lots of muscle very quickly. I'm not talking about gaining 20 pounds or nothing. You're probably going to gain maybe, if you are lifting really, really hard, you might be able to gain maybe 10, 15 pounds of muscle in a year. And I promise you it's not going to make you look that much different. But you will be very happy with how you look. And at that point, once you're training for about a year, you will have learned so much about the gym, you will feel so much better about this diet, and you will have learned a lot more, right? But again, just for the basics, real quick recap. Get your BMR, figure out what that is, and figure out what you actually burn per day. Get that number, and you can go up if you're trying to bulk, decrease if you're trying to cut. The food, 150 grams per pound of body weight. 1 gram per pound of body weight. Typically, people want to stay around there. And then fats, 50 to 100 grams of fats per day. Take out what you need to take out, or add what you need to add in, preferably from your carbohydrates, okay? Cardio, I would say, you don't really need it right now. Sure, 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day if you want to, but, don't kill yourself on that. That will actually trigger muscle loss, which is not what you're trying to do. And by the way, fun fact, for every pound of muscle that you gain, I believe it's another 50 or 100 calories that you can afford to eat every day, right? So the more muscle that you have on your frame means the more food that you can actually eat, right? So kind of interesting there. Gym, just got to get in there and just got to start trying, okay? At least, I would say at least 3 times a week for 45 minutes a session, and that will be a good baseline to start. It might help to hire a personal trainer. Time, roughly 3 to 6 months is when you're going to see good progression. You will really notice what's going on. Supplements, you don't need them. There are some that will help you later on in the game, but you don't need them right now, okay? This is where you start. This is the blueprint.